Hello there, and welcome to Dork Wars Live, your galactic hub for all things Star Wars and more. We've got a lot of the more tonight. Starting right off the bat, I have four guests tonight. That's the most I've ever had on the show at one time, I believe. So we're going to see how that works. I'm a little frightened. One of those is Joker voice, by the way. Spoiler alert. So kind of scary, but we'll make it through together. Let's go on and introduce them. Since I've already spoiled the first one, what's going on, JV?
Oh,
Thanks for joining me.
just it's a lovely day out here in Gotham, running away from Batsy and the Brat family. However, Jason Todd still gets his good treatment every time.
I tell you, man, it's a good episode to have you on, JV, because man, you look spooky most of the time. Anyways,
That's so not me though.
but you look spooky. I can't help it.
Thanks. Wow.
Second up, we have one of my favorite friends that I've met since podcasting, Kelly. You may know her as Lunar Girl. What's going on?
Hi, friends.
Good name. Good name there.
you.
I
Thank
myself
you.
am
Thank
strange and
you.
unusual. I like it.
Yeah, I've got the mug.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
we've got Halloween vibes going on. We're a couple days
Yeah.
away from Halloween, so yeah, let's do that.
And
Spooky.
the one of the films that I recommended this past month.
Did you
Yeah.
really?
He did.
Yes, you
Look.
don't watch my content.
Look,
I haven't been watching much of any content.
Whatever.
Adulting
That's it.
is hard this month. This month was hard.
a hard one.
No, come
Okay,
back.
we'll just. All right. Well, anyways,
No,
we
bring
have
him
more
back, bring him
people.
back.
We'll bring him back. We'll bring him back. Now he's on bottom. Anyways, we still have more to come. Mr. Steve Long. What's going on, Steve, from Rebel Rock
Oh,
Radio?
hey, how's it going?
How's
Doing
it
all
going?
right? How you doing, Blake? Good to be on the show.
Heck yeah, man. Great to have you as always. And I think this is actually Steve's first time on Dork Wars, the podcast.
No, I think I've been on here at least once before.
Really?
It's been a while.
I know I was on your show way back and recently as well, but we'll give you a pass. We'll say you're not a noob, but we do have
Wow.
one noob on my show that's never been before, and it's a guy I've been getting to know a lot lately. He's been hopping in, or not humping.
Humping? What? What kind of show is this? Whoa,
He's been
whoa.
hopping into my streams lately. He's joined my Discord, the Dork Wars Discord, and had a lot of conversation with this guy. And happy to have him on the show.
Giddy.
Welcome, Spencer.
Spencer.
How is it going, everybody? Great to be here. Glad to be here. Been looking forward to this all week.
Yeah, man. And I also have been looking forward to this. Let's check out look at there. Twitch it's twitching. I'm streaming on multiple platforms for the first time, and we have a stream elements thing that's up there, and it's doing its thing. Anyways, I would like to look at the chat and see who's there. Barring all the people who you already see on the screen, we have Dragon Buddy right here. I got to find a good comment of his. Let's just do hello there. Dragon Buddy's in the chat.
Dragon.
The man, the myth, the legend. I also see Tina in the chat. Thanks for joining us, Tina. If you're in the chat, let us know. Oh, and DJ snuck in there. You see that? Just snuck in there. Didn't even incognito. But we have an awesome show lined up tonight. I'm pretty stoked. We got some news. Got some really good news. We have some really sad news. We also have some really good news at the tail end of our news. So let's just get into it. Now hear this.
Now hear this! Now hear this!
Now you hear this, whoever you are.
Now, I want to get the sad stuff out of the way. So, first off, Mr. Matthew Perry has passed away at age 54. Found at his home, in his hot tub. Cardiac event is what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Man, what a blow.
Yeah, I mean, it's from what I've heard, because I've heard other things. He had a lot of medical procedures done, and his history of drug use. Kind of the one thing you should not be doing is dunking yourself into dunking yourself into hot water like a tea bag. So
Yeah.
So devastated over that. So absolutely devastated over that. I've been a fan of his since Friends. However, I do remember his cameo appearance on the original Beverly Hills 90210. But
I just remember I remember Fools Rush In, where he's married to Salma Hayek. So I mean, just saying.
Rush In. It's a good one.
Yeah, absolutely devastated.
It has Salma Hayek in it.
And you talk about a presence. 10 seasons of Friends, and my parents they were Friends fanatics. Loved it. So I grew up with it.
I watched it since the episode 1, season 1. I own all of them, and now you know how long it's been on syndication, and now you could stream it all on Max. So it's funny. In September, I actually started binging all 10 seasons again. I'm halfway through season 8. So sad, so sad.
It is. It really is. But you gotta keep moving on. We still have some friends out there. Hey, Wes joined the chat. What's going on?
Hey, Wes.
Well, he joined the chat from Twitch. Whoa. Oh, cool. The live streams are on here now. Yeah, they're on here now.
Not to mention, like, me and Chuck and Steve, just how close in age he is to us. You know, it's like, yeah.
Who's Chuck?
Yeah, it's a shock. It's a shock. But
some of us closer than others, but yeah.
Right. He seemed like a presence that was bigger than life, especially when you see him on the screen. Lately, I know, kind of see a little bit.
Yeah.
That he's kind of declined in health the last couple of years, but moving on, the Marvels will be released.
You were missing someone else too. For those who are fans of the show, those of the fans of the show. No, Ike Court, Richard Mall.
I know.
Richard Mall passed away.
Blake and Spencer were not yet on this earthly realm, but oh my gosh, Richard Mall was so fantastically funny.
Dry humor, funny.
Yeah,
he
I know
was
he
the big dumb oaf, and I absolutely loved him. I was a huge fan of Night Court. Oh, he was wonderful.
Yep.
Wow. And well, I did not know that. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. But moving on for real now, the Marvels is set to release on November the 10th. Is anyone in here excited about seeing the Marvels at all?
Excited? No. Will I see it? Yes.
I will be I will be watching it for content and content only.
I'm kind of in the same
I
boat.
plead the fifth.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm with Spencer. I'm not necessarily excited to see it.
Yeah,
but I will go see it.
Yeah, I'm kind of right there because I too am not that excited to see this, man. I just moving all over the place. Come on, Blake.
Yeah, it's this.
But
this is tracking. Box Office Pro has this tracking as just based on pre-sale tickets, the worst, absolute worst opening weekend of any film from Marvel's Studios. Five Nights at Freddy's is gonna pass it.
Yeah, and
I've seen that one.
That's a shame, man. It's a shame because Marvel had
Is it though?
For the genre, for where we've come from, it's a shame that they've done this to the MCU. I think because I think a lot of people have been, back in the day, every Marvel film was an event. You go and see it, you add to the lore, and I think there's a couple factors that kind of we're tired of it. I mean, we have a fatigue of this MCU stuff. There's just too much now. You know, if anyone, if you want to get into it fresh and new, you have to watch 30 movies. That's a lot. Okay. There's the last couple of phases really don't seem to be moving anywhere. Like they're
Not
this
one
is
film,
not
not one film post Endgame has turned a profit. Not
yeah.
one.
And that was a good spot. That was a good spot to end. So I wish they would have wish they would have cut it then. But there are some rumors surrounding one of the it seems that Brie Larson may be tired of playing Captain Marvel.
Yep. This comes from a book called The Rise of the MCU, where this uh, author of this book has said that Brie has become disillusioned with Marvel Studios and frankly Disney as a whole. And frankly, I don't blame her. She was propped up as she was going to be the future of the MCU.
Which a lot of people did not like at all.
Well, okay. They were kind of like, okay, but then Brie decided to open her mouth and say some very controversial things. This was this was during the Me Too Times Up movement in Hollywood. This did not ingratiate her to any of the fans. And initially, the plan, which Marvel has no plans, they just do, was to have as the leaders of the Avengers was to be T'Challa, Spider-Man, and Captain Marvel, which no one could foresee the tragic loss of Chadwick. No one could have foreseen
you
that.
couldn't plan for that.
Sony and Marvel having constant argument over the contract of Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And then Brie, because of what she was doing to her own brand, she got demoted in her own sequel. She got reduced to cameos. Since then, she has a new PR team, which she has been remarkably quiet on a lot of things. She's done other films. She did she was actually very good in Kong Skull Island. She was good in Fast 10.
Yeah.
So, but I don't blame Brie. I mean, you were propped up to be the face of Marvel going forward, and now it's just bleh. Now, and even the director of the film has backed away and said, "This is not my film. I would show up to work and I would be told, okay, this is what we're doing today." And she was the director in name only. She was not hired to direct. She was cast to direct because she checked off the right boxes.
Right. I do. I think that Brie, she was propped up to be the next big thing. Tina here says that she was fine until she started talking. They mess up sometimes, and she also thinks she's dry as toast. Yeah, her acting in her as Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers, is very, very dry. I do want to sneak this in here. We have comic book fan. Thank you for joining us on Dork Wars Live. I want to make sure we get to everyone, you know.
Can you imagine if there was no strike going on and Dune 2 still released the same weekend as it was supposed to?
Oh, dude.
Marvel would.
No one would have seen the Marvels. Maybe 3 people. Because Dune 2 is going to be big. I am
fantastic.
Oh, my gosh. Mm-hmm. Oh, you need to talk Wesley. If Wesley's still on, Wesley is a huge Dune fan, the books, the movies, everything, and he is patiently waiting. He was so sad.
Mhm.
He was so sad
I
when we talked
was-
about.
I was
so
pretty
heartbroken.
disappointed.
I
It
was.
was like one of 3 movies I actually wanted to go see this year.
Right.
But it makes sense. So
Absolutely.
because
Yeah.
the actors strike, which why they're still striking, I have no idea. They're going to be so now you're going to get, once that actor strike is done, you're going to get the faces out in front talking the right talking points and being a
Right.
very positive
Yes.
face going forward.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm super stoked for Dune as well. But I don't know, man. I think we're just MCU'd out.
I think
Okay,
so.
and this is the problem with Disney and its tentpole IPs. The problem
Yeah.
is Disney Plus.
Oh
They
yeah,
just-
we just
They pump so much into there that it's just oversaturation.
yeah. Because imagine if Disney Plus hadn't come out. Because literally the first thing that Disney Plus launched with, I
Mandalorian.
think
Mandalorian.
that and WandaVision.
No,
WandaVision
Well, that was a
was
year later.
soon after.
You mean first
Was it
year
a whole
later.
year? Okay, so that was the first thing new in. So after Endgame was Spider. I think Spider-Man came out.
Spider-Man Far From Home came out in
Yeah,
theaters. That's a Sony film.
right.
So
And
so
then
the first
after-
Marvel.
Is
the first Marvel-
WandaVision.
Right,
And it came
on
out. I
Disney
didn't know
Plus.
it was so far after it had premiered. I thought it was a little sooner, but forgive me. But that was the first thing that came out, and it was the first thing of phase 4. So all of phase 4, all of phase 5, you just have all these drops and boom and boom and boom, and it's hitting you over the head. And some of it, it don't
None of
all
it was
really
good.
connect.
None of it was
Yeah.
good.
Some of it's kind of
I enjoyed WandaVision.
It's
I
phase
actually-
4. It's phase 4 and stage 5.
I
I-
enjoyed WandaVision.
I enjoyed most of
I'll stick by
WandaVision.
that.
I enjoyed most of WandaVision.
Yeah.
First 5
Um,
episodes.
I will say, like, the first 3 episodes were like unique. I've never seen TV like that. I thought it was fantastic, and I almost
Don't say stuff like that. You make it seem like I'm so old because we watch shows
Well-
just like
well,
that.
I'm
when we
saying
were
I
little.
have not.
I did not
No, not-
watch original runs of the Dick Van Dyke Show.
not
We
saying
Thank you very much.
did.
not saying I've never seen TV like that. I'm saying I've never seen. I have seen TV like that. I did grow up watching TV Land, and I did grow up with 90s sitcoms. I mean, I was born in '92. And I grew up with that stuff as well. But I think the way that they did it, they conceptualized those ideas for those eras and put them in Wanda's head, and that's how she was coping with this, and she was broadcasting it. That is what I was talking about. The idea of
Yeah.
it, because I thought it was a week-to-week miniseries of random, like, we're gonna do each decade as if Wanda was in a TV show from that decade, because we didn't have any other information, so we didn't know it was connected to anything. I originally
Right.
thought it was not, and then when she started getting the flashes, and I'm like, oh, there's more to this.
Mhm.
I still think it was a great show overall. By the end, it was getting a little wonky, but some of the other stuff, Loki, I was kind of in and out of. I didn't watch it when it first came out. I have since seen Loki. The Captain America and Winter Soldier, it had its good moments. I did enjoy Hawkeye. Thought Hawkeye was good.
I did
Hawkeye-
enjoy Hawkeye too.
Hawkeye
It was fine.
Hawkeye was decent. It was and only because of the acting of Haley Steinfeld,
I think she was great.
who took a character who was not well liked in the comics and made her tolerable. Just,
I still love you though.
no. The Disney Plus show. The Disney Plus shows prove to me that most humans are like Slinky. They're pretty much useless unless you push them down a flight of stairs.
Okay, I think we're getting off topic.
And then the only other And then the only other good one, and then the only other decent story as far as a full story and a full character arc, but nobody watched it, was the Miz Marvel show, bringing it back to the Marvels. The one person I feel sorry for is the young girl playing Kamala Khan, because I have seen her in interviews. She seems very sweet, very genuine, and just appears to be having the time of her life. Iman, get away from Disney before they break you. Get away.
And I hope you're watching this show. That'd be cool.
She's an absolute genuine fan, and it's just great to see her in that role as somebody that is possibly the most passionate there. And props to her to actually being able to write a Miss Marvel comic now as well.
Wow.
Oh.
JV, you actually liked Ms. Marvel. If I remember correctly, right?
I didn't hate it, and
that's as close as you're gonna get to a like from JV.
That's a like. That's a like.
That's a like, man.
I did not watch it.
As I said, it was the most complete story. It had the best character arc, and as far as showing a positive family dynamic, it did that the best.
And I don't think they tried to interject all of the here's what else is happening in the MCU all through it. Right. Which we get that peppered in a lot of these shows. And I think that's what kills it is overly connecting it to everything else. The wonder of the original MCU stuff, and I know we're not talking about this tonight, and this is going on a little bit longer than I anticipated, but the original magic for those shows, or movies rather, for me in the MCU,
they were cinematic.
They were having cinematic. Iron Man. Cinematic. I mean, we didn't know it was going to connect anything. And then, of course, you get the post-credit scene. You get Thor, and that was a cool movie. Awesome. We get a Thor movie that was, it wasn't bad. It wasn't horrible. And then we get the Avengers, and then you get the team, the Avengers team up, and you're like, oh man, we've seen all these characters in these different movies, and now they're teaming up together. That's awesome. We haven't really ever seen anything like that. Then you build and build and build. It was a great experiment, and they did a fantastic job until Endgame. And then it just, at least for me,
and all the talent from what made the MCU great has gone. Favreau gone. Yeah, the Russos gone. James Gunn, who was the map, from the original Guardians to Infinity War. That entire storyline for phases 2 and 3, that was all James Gunn.
Yeah, and now it's gone. But what you gonna do? We'll see what happens with the MCU. I guess we're gonna push through and just try. I don't know. At what point do they just say, "Hey, look, we're gonna end this thing"?
What they're doing is they're essentially going to press a big reset button, and that's what Secret Wars is. Mm-hmm. And they're going to keep some things. They're going to throw some things out. Personally, I think it'd be great if they just pressed a hard reset, but I don't think they're doing that.
Well, what they should do, we'll let the Marvels come out and bomb. Everything else they have going right now, scrap it. Absolutely scrap it. Focus on 2 things: Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Kang Dynasty, you do a proper introduction of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Secret Wars, proper introduction of the X-Men. There's your reset. Scrap everything else.
And I tell you, man, if you can just restart the universe with the X-Men and the Fantastic Four, those are the mainstays of Marvel. We took B and C list characters and made them the forefront of Marvel for the past 15 years. Right. Household names. Let's get back to the X-Men, to the Fantastic Four. Now we do have Spider-Man in it now, and with Sony and Disney, it's always up in the air what's going on with that. But I would love to see some great X-Men and Fantastic Four stuff. So, moving on now. Dork Wars, the podcast, has a merchandise store.
Merchandising? What's that? Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Open up the store.
Dork Wars, the podcast, has a merchandise store. We have Dork Wars, the coffee mug. We have Dork Wars, the t-shirt. Dork Wars the hoodie, and Dork Wars the pumpkin carving kit.
Yes, I need one of those.
Lantern.
What
You know
about the breakfast cereal?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't have the breakfast cereal yet. We're working on it. We actually don't have the pumpkin carving kit either. But out of everything that we lie to you guys about having, we do have stuff. I promise. The stuff we do lie about, that is probably the most gettable of the things, that we've boasted. But definitely go check out Dork Wars the podcast. Check us out at dorkwarspodcast.com. And there you can find the merchandise store. You can find the everywhere that we stream, which is Spotify, Apple Music, Google Podcast. Yeah, anywhere you find your podcasts, we're there. Join our social media. We have Facebook. We have Twix, which is Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We have Twitch now. Well, we had Twitch before, but now that I have proper internet, I can stream more. So we have Dork Wars Gaming. We're actually
internet.
Yeah, we got good internet now, guys. Woo! I'm not just gonna disappear anymore. We're actually streaming on Dork Wars Gaming right now, which is cool. So if you're watching from that venue, thank you for joining us tonight. So pretty cool stuff in the works. I want to get to you guys though. My wonderful guest hosts. Let's talk about you. We're gonna hit it again at the end, but I really like talking about my guest hosts as we go through. So I'll just go round robin. We'll just go. Kelly, let's start with you. Where can we find you on the World Wide Webs?
Well, I'm kind of everywhere right now. You could don't even bother looking for Lunar Girl on the socials because I'm usually never there. I do run the socials of the Sidebar Cantina. That's at Sidebar Cantina on X and at the Sidebar Cantina on Instagram. Oh no, what?
It says at the Sidebar. I just put Sidebar.
Oh, that's what I am for Twitter. X.
Oh, is it Sidebar Cantina or the Sidebar Cantina?
On Twitter, it's Sidebar Cantina. And on Instagram, it's the Sidebar Cantina. And neither of them are my fault. So I just run them. I didn't create them. I run the Red 5 Tavern on TikTok and X. I run Stranger Things Has Happened, which I am the co-star of. I'm actually on that pod on Twitter or X and Instagram. And now I'm doing great reviews on Instagram too, but usually it's just reposting something that either Alan said on X or DB made on TikTok. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of everything.
Yeah, Lunar Girl is everywhere. We met back in our Red 5 days, and he hasn't slowed down yet.
I'm trying to. I just get sucked in here and sucked in there, and I can't say no. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. And we also have our friend JV, Joker Voice. Where can we find you on the World Wide Webs?
Well, you can find me on the Twix at right down there. Underscore protege. You can find me here on the YouTube at the Joker's Voice, knocking on the door of 550 subs. Let's see what else. You can find me streaming Mondays and Fridays and on Legion Talk simulcasting as well. Talking with Monday Game of Thrones. We're in season 6, episode 1, and then Friday it's Friday night's Royal Rumble, just general pop culture. You can also find me every Thursday on with Roman of the Empire, either talking a series, a film, or just pop culture in general. Last week we talked about the Sam Raimi classic Army of Darkness. So a lot of fun.
Awesome. Oh, we're gonna go to Spencer now. Where can we find you, Spencer?
You can find me over on YouTube on the Dingus Den, where right now I'm focusing on doing all sorts of different comic content. I have a show called The Comic Club where I take a storyline and we just sort of talk about it. Actually, Steve was my first ever guest on that show where we talked about All-Star Superman back in, I believe that was March. And so, yeah, I've been keeping up with that show. It's been a lot of fun talking about comics, and that's a big passion of mine. Also, my Twitter's right down there, or Twix. Like, that's what
Twix,
you
Twitter, X. We've passionately renamed it here on Dork Wars podcast because who the heck knows? I mean, really.
Twix. That's a good one.
And finally, my good buddy Steve, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find me pretty much everywhere right there at Otter272. But if you want to follow the podcast, stream, whatever you want to call it, just go to rebelrockradio.com and that'll point you to all the different socials. That way you don't have to remember a whole bunch of different accounts. So just go to that one and it'll shoot you where you need to go.
Oh yeah, very nice, very nice. I do like the bio links; those are awesome. You just put all of your links there, and people, instead of just doing this and this and this and this, just one link, and they're like, I'll just follow them on all this. So that'd be awesome.
Which I'm just gonna say, Spencer's OnlyFans account, top notch.
Well, you didn't give me that one, Spence. I want to see the dingus on OnlyFans. Is it just foot stuff?
Listen. Only certain people can see my dingus, if you know what I mean.
All right, there. I don't have all my sound effects in here yet, but once I do get them in here, Anyways, and speaking of dingus, you can also find him on Escape Pod Gaming, tearing up in the multiplayer lobbies.
Oh yeah, we had a lot of fun. Yeah.
Them guys, they tear up some Call of Duty. I've had the pleasure of playing Call of Duty with Dragon Buddy, and I tell you, it's always a good time. But anyways, for Dork Wars, the podcast, for Stranger Things Has Happened and Lunar Girl and the Sidebar Cantina, for Joker Voice, the YouTube and his Twitter and the Dingus Den, and for Rebel Rock Radio, you just need to hit the like button and subscribe. Like and subscribe and like and subscribe and like. Just for you, JV. Just for you.
It's
I'll
his
never change
favorite
that.
clip of yours.
I will never change it for JV because he's asked me not to. He said, "I'll act like I hate it." I act like I hate it, but
no, I do hate it.
He
see,
secretly loves.
Look at it.
Kyle
He's
Brown.
committed. He's committed to the bit. He's committed to the bit. But I actually do have a big announcement. I've already made this announcement on the social medias.
Yes, you
but
did.
I did. I've already done that. But I would like to make an official announcement here on Dork Wars, the podcast. Yeah, Dork Wars, the podcast, has helped in founding a new podcasting network. It is called the Subculture Podcast Network, full of geeky pop culture podcasts. We specialize in everything. A couple of the podcasts we have now, we actually have a few more interested, but officially, we of course have Dork Wars, the podcast, the Tricker's Delight podcast, the Portable Hole Publishing podcast, and Entertainment Rants podcast. So go check those out. We already have a
does Portable Hole have an OnlyFans account too? That just sounds naughty.
That just it kind of does actually. Yeah, you can check all of our links out. You know, they're all brand new. We don't have anything crazy out just yet. This is brand new. I still don't have like video promos and stuff that will come hopefully by next week. But check out bio.link/subculture pod network for all of our links. All of our shows are there. I encourage you to go check those guys out. Fantastic pods. I've enjoyed listening to them, getting to know these hosts, and it's been a lot of fun. So great things to come, I hope, and more pods for you guys to enjoy. You know, just growing together and helping out. And I can't wait. I'm excited for this venture, and just want to thank everybody for your support and checking everything out.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
Keep chasing your dreams. Never stop chasing your dreams.
Unless your dream is taming a T-Rex, you might want to stop chasing that one.
Who chases that
I don't know,
dream?
man. We're getting closer every day to that genetic stuff.
John Hammond did.
Well, anyways, tonight, let's get to the main event. Tonight, we are talking about some spooky movies. It's getting spooky.
That was nice.
I can feel it.
Very nice.
I really just want to, But
how's that again?
It's just,
Okay.
you got to hit get all the Michael Jackson in there. Oh man, look at there, Alan and snuck in the chat. What's going on, Alan? Thanks for joining us, man. Great to see you. But
My hair's in nowhere.
and I'll tell you what, grave. This is like perfect. This is a perfect grave reviews, spooky movies.
Yes.
It's like match made in heaven. And DB's right. We got the thriller and the killer tonight. And yeah, got all of it. Got all of it going on. So we've each put back 2 movies for discussion. We're gonna start with the one. We'll see where we get, and I really hope we get there.
Got plenty of time.
Got plenty of time. We'll see. I tell you what, if the chat is hopping and we keep going and everything's good, then yeah, we'll just keep going and going and going. But I want to start out. We'll just go the same order. I like this order. Just boop boop boop. Man, not JV. He's out. It looks like. But Kelly first. Kelly, what is your first? I would like you to go with your favorite, whichever one you want to talk about the most. Go with it first.
You got it. When I think Halloween, you got to think horror. Okay.
Yeah.
And there has only been one movie in my entire life that scared the living crap out of me. Mostly because I was raised a Catholic girl, and you guys who love horror know where this is going. It is William Blatty's The Exorcist.
Classic.
You know what? In retrospect, I really should have got some little clips like "bow," but I ain't got them tonight.
Mm-hmm.
No, please don't scare me.
Dingus is not trying to put a dingus on his chair tonight. So let's. Note to self. So Kelly, why do you like this movie? What draws you to The Exorcist?
It's the adrenaline, of course. It scared the living crap out of me to think that, like, especially if you grow up Christian, to think that there is a God and there is the devil, okay? And the devil can possess anybody at any time, no matter how good or how bad you are. He could just crawl up inside your body and make you do bad things.
Too many jokes.
What?
Too many jokes. You said crawl up inside.
Crawl right up his dingus, man.
So yeah, it's the scariest movie ever made for me. I actually small little tidbit of information that nobody knows. The priest, Father, what's his name? Crackus? No, just slipped out of my head. But the priest, the young priest, he and his ashes are in downtown Scranton in the Courtyard Square. Paul Sorvino, which you would probably know him from Goodfellas as Paulie, Paulie, the godfather of
Right.
their little, yeah. He sculpted a bust of the actor, and his ashes are buried right there in the courtyard. So I took
Wow.
my Padawan to pay our respects last week, because it was, well, it's spooky season. So yeah.
So did you tell them before you got there, or were you like,
No, I totally surprised her.
surprise, it's a dead guy?
Well, Alex is my youngest. Okay, Alex is my horror freak with me, and everybody knows my husband is DB, and we love
What?
horror. Alex is
Wait, you're married?
You're married? What in the world? I didn't even know that. I thought DB only had eyes for me. This is some bull crap.
DB.
We're gonna be talking about this later.
He just charms all the boys, I swear. But yeah, Alex is our little horror freak. You know, she was born 3 days after Halloween, but you know, you'd never know. So
Still lingering in the air, you know.
yeah.
Oh goodness gracious.
Mhm.
I tell you what,
Karras, Father Karras. That's what his
That's
name
it.
is.
Yeah, there he is. Right
Yeah.
there. Ba-bow.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you, comic book fan. Yes, Father Karras. Yes.
But
Praxis was Steve's Dungeon and Dragon.
So The Exorcist, yeah, it's one of those spooky movies, man. Especially when her head turns all the way around and the John. Yeah, I just, I was a kid when I saw that, and
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious the first time, and
I did too, but then I went to sleep.
Yeah, it gets creepier with age. Honestly, it gets creepier every time I watch it. I'm like,
Honestly, here's a little background for you. Okay, when I first saw it, I was 10. Okay, because
That explains a lot.
yeah, I was 10. Okay. The second thing, I slept on the top bunk of a bunk bed. So the ceiling was only like 3 feet from my head. And we lived in the country, and there were like squirrels in the attic. Okay. So like you heard the running right over your face, just like in the beginning of The Exorcist. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die.
JV saying that he knows that something's amiss. And
Kelly is going to be an entire chapter in my book now. I'm just
yes. I love it. I
JV,
started reading Stephen King at age 9. Does that help you too? Yes.
I didn't realize you were writing a memoir. I cannot wait.
Call it that. More of a satire.
An auto satire. That's new. But anyway, anyone else have any thoughts on The Exorcist?
Well, I'm gonna refrain from my thoughts because my film ties right into Kelly.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna hold off on that.
Yeah. Dingus, you ever seen The Exorcist?
That is one of the very few movies I refuse to watch. Thank you very much.
It's very.
I feel like I asked Dingus on the wrong episode.
Refuse to watch. Why would you refuse to watch it?
It just listen. There's some things that I know just isn't my cup of tea. All right, there's something I get scared easily. I feel like I've been doing a little bit or something, but I get scared very easily. All right, I'm not the biggest fan of horror. I do enjoy some,
Yeah.
but anytime I watch any of those trailers that come whenever I go to the theater, that's kind of like Exorcist or like same sort of premise. I hate those trailers so much. I know it, like, even though I don't believe in any of that stuff personally, but it's like I know it would freak me out. Like just the way they're done. It's like no.
Dude, he makes a good comment. Look, it wasn't just the 80s kids. It was us 90s kids too, I promise.
Yeah. I was able to watch all the horror movies just as long as it didn't have boobs and sex. So
yeah.
Yeah.
That cuts out about half of them.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay though, because like I was also a latchkey kid, and we finally got our first VCR at age 12. So yeah, like
Mom, Dad, you're hearing it now.
Yeah. Yeah. If mom and dad, Lunar Girl, are listening, this is good stuff. So look, I've got a special guest now. Alan said to link him in for this story about The Exorcist. I've got to hear this.
All right. So first of all, thank you so much for linking me in. I hate to really just jump in the middle of your stream, but
I love it.
My wife and I both have opposing stories about this movie. I, as a child, literally would not watch The Exorcist. The commercials themselves scared the snot out of me because unlike some of you who are raised Catholic and Catholic light, I was raised Pentecostal.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This had a huge, impact on our culture as well.
yeah.
Now, my wife, on the other hand, this is where the story comes from. My wife's mother was a Catholic school teacher. My wife was raised Catholic.
And I'm a recovering Catholic.
And as she just said, she's a recovering Catholic.
Okay.
Literally, when I asked her questions about religion, her exact words were, "If you weren't raised in the cult, you can't understand the cult." Anyway, so
I love Mar.
She was probably 7-ish. And she tells the story. She's like, I'm like 7. I'm sitting on my father's lap. We're watching The Exorcist. My dad's laughing his ass off. I am scared out of my mind. So I go to bed that night and climb in bed with my Catholic school teacher mother.
No, I got scared.
Because she was afraid.
I asked my mom to come sleep with me.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
So she asked her mom to come sleep with her. Well, her mom starts snoring. And she is convinced that that's the devil trying to come out of her mother. God bless her. This is why she can't watch a scary movie with me to this day.
I absolutely love your wife.
Dude, Alan, that may have just made the stream. That's hilarious.
Why did you let me watch that? That's like child abuse.
She said that's child abuse. That was child abuse.
They raised me in the Catholic church and then let me watch that, and I'm like, okay, now everybody's gonna die.
All right, so can I? If I can add something to this, if you don't mind, I'm getting ready to get a little bit off kilter, just a little bit, and I think that my good buddy Joker Voice here is going to understand my point of view on this. Have you guys seen any of the reviews or anything on this new Exorcist movie that's out now that I refuse to go see?
No, I haven't.
I've heard it's horrible.
They have taken the Catholic Church out of it and have made it a universal. All churches have exorcism rights. So blah, blah, blah. They've watered it down to the point that it's not scary anymore. And literally, for those of you who are raised Catholic, and for myself who was raised Pentecostal, we understand that for non-believers to be in the room with a exorcist is in danger of being possessed themselves, which is why they didn't let the mother in the room in the first place. But now she's saying in an interview that it was because of the patriarchy that she wasn't allowed to be in there because she's not a man. Fuck them. I will never watch that show.
Woke, gonna woke.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I didn't mean to open that can of worms, but yeah, sorry, you guys.
Yeah,
took what could be a great concept and ruined it for me, and I'm not happy about it. So that all being said, this is all the time that Grave Reviews has for tonight. Thank you for allowing me to come on and share your story.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
all right.
Of course, it was great.
We will see. I'll love it. We will see you on Thursday, where we're talking about the wonderful, lovable anthology Trick or Treat for the Halloween season.
Terrible.
We really hope you guys stop by at
horrible,
7:30 Eastern time.
Necessary.
Wow.
And that being said, we have to talk some more Dork Wars. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been great seeing you. I try to tune in as much as I can. And much love from Gravy Views to all of you. Much love from my heart to all of you.
Thanks, Alan. I really appreciate you coming on. That
Not a
made
problem. Thanks for
my
letting me share
night.
that story because it's very funny.
That made my night. But I'm right there with Alan, though. I'm right there with Alan. Don't change the original. If you're gonna make a remake, don't change stuff, but don't change the fundamentals. There's some fundamental things.
Though. There's no reason to redo it.
Yeah, and it's like I wouldn't do The Exorcist anyways. I wouldn't redo. It's like I wouldn't do redo the Star Wars original trilogy. Never. Yeah. Why would you do that? That is stupid. Okay. Yeah. Same thing with this movie. Same thing with a lot of movies.
Yeah.
There's a ton of movies that they remake that they should not touch. Yeah. And one, I know this isn't a scary or spooky movie, but they always see that I'm a huge Back to the Future fan. Love Back to the Future. And everyone's like, make another one or remake it or blah. I'm like, no, leave it alone. It is great. Leave it alone. But yeah. I think that's it right there. That's all we got on The Exorcist. Unless anyone else has anything.
Mine's gonna tie in too.
Yeah.
Well, I got you, JV. We coming to you next, man. We're coming.
I know.
But anyways, JV, since you're
as mentioned, a definite definite subgenre in the horror genre. And the thing about horror is it can literally be in any genre. You can introduce horror into anything. But a subgenre became the demon possession films. And one thing that these all have in common is they are based on actual events or actual people.
Right.
Yes.
So you go from The Exorcist. We have had of late the series The Conjuring. We just recently had the Pope's Exorcist. Good first 2 acts, horrible third act.
Right.
But so just for that reason, there's always a bit of interest on my end. Is like, okay, this actually happened, or it's based on something that actually happened. So my choice is a movie that is downright terrifying. Once you know more about it, is The Exorcism of Emily Rose, where when you look at The Exorcist, which yes is the standard, was it Jennifer Carpenter in Emily Rose, where Linda Blair had a lot of special effects to turn her head around and everything. All those all those contortions that Jennifer is in, she's doing that on her own. There is no CGI work on this. There is no that is all her. And the part where they actually played part of the tape recording from the trial in the film, and you can hear Jennifer saying, I was there with Cain. I was there at Golgotha. I am Legion. I am Aliel, and I am Lucifer, the devil in the flesh. And when her eyes just turn to voids, I'm just like, wow,
yes,
wow,
yes.
Now, funny story with that, I went to see I went to see this. It's opening the weekend. I went on a Saturday at the very last showing, about 11:30 p.m. So it didn't get out till after 1. Movie ends. The final credits come up. There's no applause. There's no talking. People just ducked their heads, got up, and just walked very silently out. And I'm like, ooh. And I'm like, ooh, church attendance is gonna be up.
Yeah. I could totally see that.
Yeah.
That was
was it a Saturday night? Was it a Saturday night?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Them cat, they didn't even sleep. They didn't even sleep till 10 o'clock service. Them suckers drove straight to the church parking lot. Took a nap there.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it was.
goodness.
But it is a film that is absolutely terrifying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's a film that I heard about when it came out. I actually heard very, very good reviews, and I never saw it back then. But upon asking you guys what you were picking, and I wanted to be up on what everyone was all up in, because I'm not the biggest horror guy. I know I'm having a
Neither am I.
spooky spectacular.
Which
I'm not the
which
biggest
is
horror
weird.
guy.
Which is weird, Bleak, because neither am I. But when I go, but because I've done so many of these shows of late, I've watched a lot of horror now in my day,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Might
oh,
have to.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
wow,
have to.
okay.
But
Mhm.
I will say the exorcism of gosh, what was her name?
Emily Rose.
Emily Rose.
Emily, I
Rose.
thought that. That's what I was gonna say. I promise. It was scary, dude. Like, that was a scary movie, and it was raw. I like one of my favorite scenes is that scene I included in the opening reel here, and we're talking in the barn, and just it's intense. That's an intense movie. So
Mhm.
I'm all with you. Those two, I'm glad you guys are next to each other, because those two really do go hand in hand.
They really do.
They do.
Yeah.
Did anyone else have any comments on The Exorcism of Emily Rose? Dingus, I know you didn't see it.
Yeah, I have not seen that one.
Just
I'll recommend
everything you all are describing sounds like it'd scare the literal crap out of me. So
It
I'm
will.
good. I'm
It
just
will.
staying away. You all enjoy that. I'll just be here in my happy little corner.
So I am going to say that we did not just only do very, very scary movies. We also did some goofy spooky movies, or lighthearted spooky movies as well. So I know Dingus has got one of those. Before we move on, I toyed with doing a movie called The Ghost of Mr. Chicken. I don't know if any of you know what The Ghost of Mr. Chicken is. It is a Don Knotts film. Fantastic movie. Love it. It is not that scary. But
No.
it's got that spooky element. It's got the organ that plays itself. If you've not seen The Ghost of Mr. Chicken, go check it out. It wasn't streaming anywhere. So I kind of tried to stay within things that I know people know, or that you could go stream pretty easily. The Ghost of Mr. That's another goofy one. So I recommend that one if you haven't seen it. Oh, JV said he'd be right back. Okay, well, fine then, leave. That guy. He's a prima donna. He's done with his little part and he's gone. No, I'm just kidding. JV's a good guy. Love that. Love J. Actually, while he's gone, it's nice to have JV on some stuff that he actually likes. So don't tell him we're enjoying him being here. Dingus, Spencer, what do you got for us, man? What is your top pick for a spooky movie?
This is kind of like just the top pick, I guess. That's kind of been just jiving with me recently. Like I watched it like a week or two ago after years of not seeing it, and it's just really been stuck with me, and that is Nightmare Before Christmas. Usually
that's a good one, though.
It's one of those movies that, like, even though I just really had the feels of wanting to watch it, but I think it's one of those movies that's like best to be watched like right after Halloween. Like, I think it's the best sort of transition movie, but like I just really wanted to watch it, and so and it's been like years since I've seen it, and since watching it, like the two main songs have been stuck in my head. Just this past exactly, and so just what a great Burton movie as well. There's something about that movie of where it has a great sort of creepy aesthetic while also being so like I guess like lighthearted. Like at the end of the day, it is a Disney movie with a lot of creepy aesthetics in it, and so it's a great blend, great animation, and just everything. It's an absolutely fantastic movie. Absolutely love it.
It does have that super creepy Tim Burton style, and I think that's like that was, I believe that was after he did Batman, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe
you're right.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's after Batman, so you had his live action creepy stuff, because Tim Burton's just a creepy dude.
Yeah,
I mean, he's just a creepy dude. But the gothic kind of feel that he gives to everything he puts his hands on, dude. I love Tim Burton's aesthetic as just
It's so great.
His aesthetic. I mean, he has there's a type of media, a subtype of media that is Tim Burton. And this, was one of his breakout things. I mean, this is one of his breakout creations for sure.
Mhm.
I see people with Jack Skellington book bags and Sally sleeves at Halloween and Sally hoodies and stuff. It is a pop culture phenomenon. I love that movie. I love Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's such a great movie.
It is, and it's got that spooky feel, but it's not scary. You know, Oogie Boogie is kind of creepy. I do want to know why everyone's cool with Oogie Boogie being around and they just kill him. It doesn't seem like, you know, everyone's cool with everyone in the movie, and then like this guy's just been a bad guy the whole time. I don't know, but love the movie though, man. Love the movie. Any other thoughts? I think the style of the movie as well. Sorry, before I get anyone else, I think the style of that movie, like, it's a weird, like, kind of model cast stop motion claymation. Is it? Yeah, it is claymation.
Yeah. All the designs are just spot on.
Yeah,
and just how it all comes together. Because I'd argue it's probably maybe like the most unique use of like that animation in a movie as well.
Mm-hmm.
I always have trouble with it because it doesn't look quite like clay. You know, you look at Wallace and Gromit and things like that, and you can tell it's got that clay look. These characters really do not. These characters, they look like 3D renderings almost, you know. So I can't. Oh man, it's hard not to relish in what this movie does for a lot of animation that comes after.
We can't forget the music of Danny Elfman, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Danny Elfman also from Batman.
Fans. But
what's that, Jay?
But this came out. This came out before Batman.
Did it? Oh,
was it before?
2 years.
I feel bad.
This is like 93 is when it came out.
Then I read that wrong. Then my bad. Sorry.
And Batman was 89, right?
Yeah,
89. Yes.
Yeah.
Batman was 89.
But this film kind of set a tone for a lot of what Tim Burton did later with Nightmare and Corpse Bride.
Yeah.
And I am very excited that there's going to be a sequel, especially since the addition of now Lydia's daughter, who will be played by the amazing Jenna Ortega.
Yes.
Love Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega. But this was yet another film that I recommended last month. So yes, folks, I like things.
I know.
Yeah. No one tell him what we talked about while he was gone. Nobody. We're sworn to secrecy. You in the chat as well.
Whatever, don't care.
I love you, man. I love you, dude. I love you.
I'm easy to love.
Okay. No, you're not. You're not. Steve. Steve. Let's get to Steve.
Hey, guys.
What is your top pick for the spooky movie for our spooky spectacular?
My first one, well, since we already did a goofy one, I'm gonna go with Saw.
Very suspenseful.
That's not
Are we talking the first one or the entire
just talking Saw.
I'm just talking the first one.
Oh, never mind.
Okay.
I have watched all of them, but today we're just going to talk about the first one.
Okay.
Which, you know, is actually the best of the entire franchise.
Most of the time it is.
There is one that comes right behind it, but we won't talk about that one because we're not talking about that tonight. But Saw, it wasn't necessarily spooky, but it is a movie that will creep you the hell out. And the way it was, what's the word I'm looking for? The way it was shot, the film, the cinematography, that's the word I was looking for, is, I wouldn't say unique, but it's just got a quality that you don't normally see in films. And it was shot in a very weird way. It was
kind of frantic in some spots.
Consecutively in 72 hours. So by the end of the movie, that's why you see everybody looking so miserable. because they were shooting the whole time.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But very interesting antagonist.
Mhm.
I'm going to call him that. And probably as far as franchises go, kicking off what would be my favorite horror franchise.
Do you want to play a game?
Saw was quite interesting for its time. Came out in 2004. You got the Jigsaw Killer. You've got really, you really should watch the whole franchise, but if you're not going to watch the whole thing, definitely at least watch
Spencer.
I'm sorry.
Well, poor Spencer. Look, if I would have known this was going to be traumatic for you, I would have asked you a different episode. You did not have to say this.
No, it's fine.
Poor Spence.
No, I'll give my thoughts in a moment. Go on, Steve. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm about done. So yeah, it was. It's definitely a film worth checking out, whether it's the Halloween season or not. Amazing movie. I highly recommend.
Yeah, I like the Saw movies. The first one's definitely the best. Most of the time in a series of films, the first one kind of sets the tone, sets up what everything else is going to be like.
Yeah.
There's some exceptions, but Saw, when it came out, it was a different kind of horror film.
It certainly
different.
was.
And
It was a big mind
fuck.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, R-rated show. Here
Yeah.
we go.
have
folks.
two. We had 2 F-bombs already. Gosh, it's okay.
We're good.
Sorry.
Still a family show. Just pretend he said fudge. I know it's not Christmas, but fudge.
Fudge.
We'll get to that.
It
We'll
was
get
a
to that.
mind fudge.
Violent Night, best Christmas
that.
movie ever.
But I'm sorry, but I believe that I believe that honor goes to the Batman Now Returns.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you that one.
But yeah, Saul is a different kind of animal.
Yeah.
Anyone else have any Saw?
I would
related
agree.
comments?
Okay, so I've seen a few Saws. I have not seen the entire franchise.
Movies
and
are
I will
like table saw, circular saw.
Yeah,
back saw.
those two especially. So,
Sorry.
but
Dad joke. I'm a dad.
but the first, but the first sticks out because it was unique. It was a horror film that was done in a completely different way. I personally feel that the series has just devolved into torture porn, which it can only go. You can only do that for so long until it's just like until you're just upping the stakes, and it's just like, oh dear God, that is just. I mean, there's wrong, and then there's that. So
yeah. Have you seen the newest one yet? Have you seen X?
No, I have not.
It's actually really good, and it's a lot better than pretty much any of the other sequels.
That's what I've
heard.
Yeah.
Spencer, you said that's what you heard, dude. I still would not go watch it if I were you.
No. So okay,
you really should see the first one at least.
So okay. I was probably introduced to this series in the worst way possible. I only saw one of them, and it was one of the later ones.
Oh,
and it turned out being my least favorite movie I saw that year. I hated it so much, and it literally, as he said, torture porn. I hate it so much, and it kind of makes me not want to watch any of the others.
You didn't go see Spiral, did you? That would be the worst. First,
I'm not going to confirm or deny anything.
Saw movie to see.
I think you just confirmed it, man. I think you just confirmed it.
So dislike that movie so much.
Oh man.
That is true.
Comic book fan like Saw X. He says it's very good.
He is definitely in it a lot more than any of the other movies.
Wow. Right. Yeah, and Tina says that the initial Saw was psychological. It really
That's
was.
what I've heard.
It's true. Yeah.
My friend group has been trying to get me to watch that first Saw, and I think we have a deal too finally. But I just haven't gotten to it yet, and so we will. But like, they're like, listen, this first one's not like the others. You just have to trust me on this, Spencer. Just go watch it.
Hey,
Yeah.
take a few shots prior to go sing it then.
And then live stream it for your show so I can watch it.
I just want to say the two horror. I've been open a lot more than I have over the past year or two with going into different sort of horror-esque sort of things. The two I absolutely hate though is like Saw and stuff like The Exorcist. So anyway, you've already covered those bases. Everything else I'm kind of okay with.
All right,
I'm on open going forward.
Yeah, don't eat too much before you watch it.
Oh my
definitely
goodness. Yeah, don't. Yeah, I'm right there. Yeah. Don't. Oh man. Well, I guess that comes to my first pick. I love, as you can tell by my name, I love Young Frankenstein. Oh my gosh, that is one of my
That's
favorite.
Frankenstein.
Movie.
That's Frankenstein.
It's Frankenstein. Yeah. Not by the end of the movie, it's not. But spoiler alert, if you hadn't seen it, it came out in 1974. But
I was 3.
You were 3. I was negative 18.
I was negative 3.
I don't want to do that math, but I did my homework.
JV gets it. Oh my gosh, JV gets it. Oh man. See, I tell you what, I do like having JV on something he enjoys. It's refreshing.
I am a breath of fresh air on every show I am on. Thank you very much.
Breath of fresh air in a landfill somewhere.
You know what?
He'll take it.
And to that, I say, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. Every show I am on, on this channel is some of the highest viewed. So stick that in your pipe and smoke it.
What will he do next?
You can't look away.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Well, anyways, Young Frankenstein. Anyways,
it's good for him. So
it is good for me. Thank you, JV. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was you and my puppet friend from a long time ago, and rest in peace. Thanks. Anyways, he's actually back on TikTok, by the way, with some different kind of content.
Excellent.
But, yeah, go check out. I do not know his Twitter handle or his TikTok handle right now off the top of my head, but look, a DB even sharing the love. You told me you would never tell anyone else I love you, but whatever.
That's to me.
I know it's for you. I know that's. I think that's what he was. I was surprised as well. But Young Frankenstein. This movie is one of my favorite Mel Brooks films. It may be my favorite. It may even top Spaceballs for me. And History of the World. And I love all of his films. History of the World Part 1, and and Robin Hood Men in Time. I could just talk about Mel Brooks all day. But Young Frankenstein is just hilarious. It is fun. There's a lot of those kind of quirky, on the nose, like very literal comedy. Yeah, one-liners and things happens that carry over into films. We think they're kind of outdone now because we've seen them so much, but it's in films like these that they originate. Even like the walk this way thing, his Igor's like,
would you like to roll in the hay?
Yeah. Would you like to roll in the hay? Well, and it's just like, roll in the hay, roll in the hay, roll in the... Oh, gosh, it's great. And a little bit of foreshadowing. But I love Mel Brooks. I love Young Frankenstein. You get the monster who is Peter Boyle. We all know him as Frank, and everyone loves Raymond. I'm sure everyone, we talked about Matthew Perry earlier in Friends.
Yeah.
Everybody loves Raymond. Same era.
Yeah.
Love that show. I love Everyone Loves Raymond. And I did not realize that was Peter Boyle until it was probably about 6 or 7 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, gosh, something is so familiar about the monster. And I'm like, Marie, eggs. That's him.
It's him.
Yeah, it's him. Gosh. But the film it's not scary. It's not very scary at all. it is creepy in some respects, but
Mm.
it is one of those goofier films that is spooky.
And Gene Wilder.
Gosh, yes. He's one of my favorite actors.
So good. He was so good.
Yes.
Miss
for it-
him. I miss him.
Me as well. I feel like Gene Wilder was so underused for his time.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he was so underused. As fantastic as he was. This is a goofy film, but some of the scenes that he is in are played so deeply.
Yeah.
I really like the first scene in the film when he's doing, he's doing the goofing around with the human body and the this and the that. And he comes in, he says, "I am Frankenstein. Are we looking for a Mr. Frankenstein?" He's like, "It's Frankenstein, my grandfather." And he goes into it, and he's so serious. And it's like he's taken that right out of a drama. When he figures out, when he reads his grandfather's manuscripts and his papers and his books, and he gets into the monster, and when he proclaims, "No," and he's like, "Mr. Frankenstein," he's like, "No, it is Frankenstein." And when he comes into that, he is so into this role that it is fantastic. Gene Wilder is one of my favorite.
He was one of
actors.
a kind. He was one
For
of a
sure.
kind.
And I will say this. I will say this about Gene, and pretty much everyone who works in a Mel Brooks film. They take their role seriously, even though the film does not take itself seriously.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference. That's why these films are as great as they are.
Yes.
Because they know they're schlock.
Yeah.
They know it.
They know it. And Gene Hackman's in this film. Did you guys know that?
I did know that, and I haven't
Yeah.
seen it in such a long time that I did not remember that.
So when the monster goes off into the town, and he helps he helps the girl, and it's the older man who's blind, the blind man. That is Gene Hackman. He was uncredited. Yeah. So
nice.
The caliber of talent that Mel Brooks gets in these films is off the charts. And I don't know, man. I love the film. It's goofy. It's funny. You get a lot of the dad jokey kind of comedy. You get a lot of that physical comedy. A lot of that very, I say this in a metaphorical or kind of metaphysical kind of way, but you're going to take it very literally. Love the comedy, love the goofiness, and it's spooky enough to qualify for what we're talking about tonight. So anybody else on Young Frankenstein?
Classic. Classic.
It is a classic.
It's a classic.
I actually
Dingus.
I watched it. I watched it for my first time today. It's been one of my movies that's just been on my to watch list for a long time, and so it gave me the perfect excuse to finally watch it. I believe this is now my third Mel Brooks movie. I believe I've watched. All of them have been great.
Yeah.
Well, what's the other two? What's the other two?
Spaceballs.
Okay.
And Men in Tights.
Blazing Saddles.
Blazing Saddles. History of the
Man
World
Tights.
Part 1.
Yeah, you definitely got to watch
need to
History of the
watch
World
both
Part 1 and Blazing Saddles.
That's what I've heard.
Those
are on my list.
favorite.
I have a long
Excuse
list.
me while I whip this out.
Blazing Saddles. Look, I'm not gonna lie to you guys.
You could not make that film today.
Dude, look,
Could not make
I don't think you can play it today.
Look, they took Dukes of Hazzard off of TV Land and CMT. That has nothing on Blazing Saddles, and they still stream that. So,
Do they really?
Yes, you can watch it on. I think you can watch it on the last. It might be on Max. I don't know. It's not on Max.
Not on Max.
I streamed it I don't own the film, and I've streamed it very recently. I think it was on Hulu. Maybe it might have been Hulu. It was on something. It does go across
on Disney.
No,
Hulu. I think it was on Hulu. I think it was. Correct me if I bet you it's streaming somewhere right now. It is always streaming on Netflix, Hulu, or I swear it makes its rounds. I swear it does.
Disney owns it now. Disney owns Hulu now.
They've owned it for a while.
There is no way Blazing Saddles.
Someone
is
go
on Hulu.
check where you can stream Blazing Saddles and get back to me. I swear it's somewhere streaming today.
Might be on Tubi or something.
No, I don't watch Tubi.
Showtime.
I think I see
Tubi's great.
Paramount Plus. Okay, I don't know if that's right or not.
Where'd you watch it, Dingus? Or can you say?
I
if
was
it's
just looking it
illegal?
up.
I was just looking.
You can watch it on Showtime.
Okay.
YouTube with a primetime subscription, Hulu with a premium subscription, Sling TV with a premium subscription.
Okay, maybe it's off
maybe
right
it's a
now. It
Sling
was on
thing.
Hulu.
Prime.
It was on Hulu.
Oh, with a premium subscription.
I've seen it. I
One of
don't
those.
do the well, Prime. I've got regular Prime, so maybe it was on there. I don't know. It streams, okay. But
Somewhere.
anyways, I digress. I love
yeah,
Mel
Showtime.
Brooks. I love fucking Steve.
Where are all
Anyways,
the white
Dingus,
women at?
I think Dingus was talking about how did you like the movie, Dingus?
I thought it was actually really good. I definitely enjoyed it a lot. I really enjoy that sort of like that goofier take on such a classic story. Something I do really enjoy is like those classic like universal monsters, and so it is such a good take on that. I guess twist of where it evolves that original Frankenstein story, right? And so I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, almost like a sequel to the original.
Yeah.
Mary Shelley novel. I really do think that this movie is a breath of fresh air, even though it was made in 1974. It holds up for me today.
It still does.
Yeah. All right, so we have made it at the turning point. I'm cool with.
Let's go.
Let's just
let's
go.
go.
The distance.
Let's go.
Let's just
Go
do
the
it.
distance.
Let's just do it. Let's just go the distance. I'm there. Kelly, what is your next pick for spooky films?
This one also includes a book and has been rebooted. But it's Stephen King's It. Yeah, Stephen King. Yeah, Stephen King.
So, okay, well, for one, Stephen King's an asshole. But are we talking?
That is so what? He makes good. You are too, but you make good content. I mean,
well, okay.
He wrote a lot of books on coke. What do you want?
Which
Dude has
entertainment needs to get? Which entertainment needs to get back to? Cocaine and capitalism. Back to that. I'm just saying. So, are you talking the recent theatrical releases or the TV series starring Tim Curry?
I could talk about both if you wanted to. And I can also bring up that it is the only book that ever scared me. So, yeah.
You being a girl and how that book ends, I'd be scared too.
Yeah,
it was a great book.
It
was such a great book.
Same was lots of good book too. Great reviews,
yeah.
Right there.
The original, which was actually a mini series on ABC in the early 90s, I think. Like what, 90, 91? I don't know. I don't know.
Amazing.
I'm just going off of memory. Tim Curry, scary as hell Pennywise. Okay,
dude, Tim Curry is one of the best actors ever.
I love Tim Curry.
I love Tim
Curry.
Especially creepy stuff. He's just creepy. He's creepy.
But for a miniseries, it was absolutely fantastic. Did it leave out a lot of the books? Absolutely. There was no CGI back then. It was a little cheesily done in today's standards, but loved it. Absolutely loved it. They redid it, like rebooted it a few years ago with a part 1 and a part 2. It's a lot more like the book. There is a lot of crazy CGI in order to do a lot of the things that were described in the book. I don't know. I'm kind of torn. To me, it was like a brand new It, but I still love the original It from TV.
I do too.
But yeah, absolutely. I love Stephen King. Stephen King's It, my favorite out of all the movies and books.
So, listening to even just both of your picks, The Exorcist is just classic horror.
Yeah.
Boom, like some of the very basic horror stuff. Some of my earliest images of horror as a kid is Tim Curry as Pennywise.
He was
it
so
was
scary.
when I was and it was everywhere, dude. Halloween
Yeah.
when I was 6, 7, 8, just in my
John
younger
Carpenter.
years,
Good
it
stuff.
was everywhere. Oh
Yeah.
and I think that miniseries, I think it was revolutionary for the genre of horror, especially like in the
Yeah.
90s. When you think 90s horror, that's it.
Well, I mean,
even though it's early, it's early.
Well,
but-
I mean, because you usually don't see a horror miniseries on TV.
Yeah.
Horror
It didn't exist.
Horror
Didn't
was
exist.
horror was
niche.
horror was in the theater in October or January.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just the storyline, though, there is a monster that lives in the area that can only be seen by kids, and it manifests according to the kids' biggest fear.
Yeah.
I mean, like, come on. How
Sounds
could you
like
not love that?
Sounds like a 4th grade teacher I had, but
That's funny.
she was scary. God. But yeah,
yeah.
love it. I like the new movies are fantastic. I think they are more. They do a lot more with the books. Kind of stick to those, and you have like the time differentiation between when they're kids and when they're adults. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
Yeah.
Good attention to detail. And the original miniseries I've seen several times. And
oh yeah.
It's just creepy, man.
I have to watch it every single year.
Yeah. It's one of those. It's a staple.
Yeah.
It's a staple.
Yeah. Yeah.
And look, I'll tell you what, Grave Reviews is all about some Salem's Lot.
Oh yeah.
I love the book. There was a mini series of Salem's Lot as well. I think
there was.
It was.
In
It wasn't very good though.
It
wasn't very good,
right?
Sorry.
I don't think I watched it, but
It was
wasn't
older.
it in the 20 teens?
No, it was older. It was like in the I don't know if it predates it. It may predate it.
I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's. I can't. I've seen it.
Mm-hmm,
Let me see. I don't listen now. I am. I'm intrigued now.
Yeah.
Let's see. 1979 film. There was a 19. Was it a film? I thought it was a miniseries. Yeah, 1979. Yeah, definitely.
It was a
mini.
Uh-huh.
It was also a film.
There was a film as well.
Yeah.
But I have seen. I saw the 79 miniseries one time. Yeah, before it. You're right. You're right there. Grave Reviews, Alan. Thank you.
Why can't I remember it?
Yeah, it is creepy. It's okay. I don't think it's not as good as it. Tim Curry is just the freaking man. But
with those razor teeth.
Yeah, but I love Salem's Lot, the book. I think Stephen King is just a freaky dude.
He really is. He really is.
And he's a scary guy.
Read the Dark Tower series.
That's good too.
It's not as scary, but it just messes with your head.
Right. It's creepy factor.
Yeah.
And most of Stephen King's movies
ties
are
everything together.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So, moving on now. I really did enjoy it. Joker voice. What is your next movie?
Okay, so this film is not. You would not consider this a horror film. However, it is labeled a horror film. It is a film that I absolutely enjoyed from last year. That would be The Menu. Now, when you first hear the title, you might think, "Oh, here's people on the menu." No, not exactly. But this film actually translates to horror quite well. It is, just for spoiler alert, folks. we are at a very high-end restaurant where only 12 people dine there per night. It's that exclusive, that expensive, and you are in this experience. And the head chef is a celebrity chef played by Ray Fiennes, who is perfect for this role. And we get the mix of people. You got a washed up celebrity who's trying to rekindle his dying career. You got the money bros who work for the investor. You've also got the old money couple who have been there numerous times. You got the foodie who wants to be in this world, played by Nicholas Hoult. Amazing. His date, Anya Taylor Joy, who I'll get back to her in just a second. And then you've got this food critic who her job is to deconstruct everything, to find the flaws in everything, praise to what she finds good, but criticize, but basically criticize everything. So by course 1 and 2, something just feels a little off. At the third course, when a sous chef takes a gun and blows his brains out.
Oh my gosh!
And then every course after that, the tension just ramps up and ramps up with every single course, and it is done so well. And Anya Taylor-Joy is every bit Ray Fiennes equal in this film. It is done so well. The writing is excellent. The acting is excellent. And it's scary to the point that it's like, oh, wow. Everyone in this film is a horrible person in one degree or another, except for the representative of the except for the representative of the audience, that is Anya Taylor-Joy. She represents us and is just like, what is up with all this weird hoity-toity BS crap, blah, 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 blah. and it is it's also a meta commentary of how we appreciate art. And the irony that this film is a direct pushback to what I do on YouTube is not lost on me at all, because by the end of the film, you get these very fancy plates with very ornate presentation, and this is like some of the finest food in the world. And in the end, somebody just wants a cheeseburger. Which, even amongst cheeseburgers, there is room for debate. I will say that. But
cheeseburgers are good.
Yeah.
But
there's a lot to go through.
Excellent film, excellently written, and it leaves a bit of a question if you're paying attention during the early part of the film. And I'll leave it at that.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, I gotta go back. I gotta go back to Alan's comment. Now I am very interested.
This because is amazing.
I didn't have time. That's one of the ones I did not have time to get to that I have not seen.
I saw that in the theater, and now I have to go back and see it because I want to know what JV's talking about.
What?
Like leaving the question based on something from earlier in the movie. I'm not sure.
Spencer,
I know there was a question at the very end that I won't get into because of spoilers, but it had nothing to do with the beginning of the movie. So
well, it's something in the beginning that they stressed that they that they actually spent time to explain
about a certain character.
No, about a certain food prepping.
Sounds like my time at Sonic Drive-In when I was in high school.
Yeah, I don't know.
And Spencer saw it too, right? You saw this
Yes,
film?
I did. I thought that was really good. I was like, I think the whole time that it was going to be like people involved, which it wasn't.
Wow.
hard misdirect. Yeah,
I
I have
know,
to.
yeah.
I have to put that one on the list now. It's one of the ones
But
I couldn't
it
get
is
to.
it is a very good way to introduce horror because as I said, each course the tension just ramps up and ramps up and ramps up.
I was
JV,
very
you should
invested.
you should get a YouTube channel.
You know, I've thought of that.
You're good at this. You're good at this.
I
I feel like I
do
cut you
okay.
off. I feel like I cut you off, Spencer. I'm sorry. What were you
Oh,
saying?
you're all good. But no, I was just saying, it was really good. I definitely give it a thumbs up for sure. Definitely watch it if you haven't.
Yeah,
And I definitely feel like it
and
has a really good rewatch factor as well.
absolutely, absolutely. If nothing else, for just the interaction between Ray Fiennes and Anya Taylor-Joy, who in some weird way is smoking hot. I mean, she has the hammerhead eyes. She kind of looks almost alien in some aspects. I'm like, but you know what? She's really hot. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool. I'm gonna check that one out now. Now that's what I'm doing after this.
It was bothering me that I couldn't remember exactly. I'm bad with actor names. Like I know like faces
Oh
and
my.
kind of. And so anyway, seeing Ray Fiennes in that movie, it was I was like that whole time I was like, I know him from something. What is it? What is it that I know him from?
It's
And then it
Voldemort.
finally clicked with me.
It's
Exactly.
Voldemort.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that explains why he played that role so well.
Mhm.
Awesome. Yeah. Where's it streaming at, JV? Can I watch
Max.
it?
Max.
It's on Max.
Max. It's on Max.
I'll be there. All right, Spencer. What is your next film that we are talking about tonight?
All right. So this one I watched for my first time about a year ago, and I've since gone through the whole series, and that's why I guess I dub as like my favorite. I guess of the slasher franchises, and that is of
Yeah.
Scream.
Okay.
So before going into it, my favorite slasher was Halloween, right? Such a great classic slasher.
Right.
But then you go into Scream, and it's like it gives all this meta commentary the entire time, and that's what I love about it, because pretty much that first Scream movie kind of like pretty much mirror how I felt about horror. And so I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
It's kind of a
this is
spoof.
great.
It's kind of a spoof.
Exactly.
It is.
And that's why I loved it so much. And not only that, but every film in the series continues that. And in my opinion, they're all enjoyable watches. But as far as that first one goes, though, it's such a great, like one and done at least, right? Like,
Right.
Yeah.
you can't reach what that first one was ever.
No,
Yeah.
it is such a good standalone film.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just the mystery the whole time too of like, well, who's the killer, right?
Yes.
It's such a well done mystery the entire time. And then anytime I watch any of those slasher movies, it always leaves me like paranoid anytime I hear like a creak right outside my door or anything.
Yeah.
But it's such a well done movie. I love it so much.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
I also knew a gal who dances out here in this town, and she's the spitting image of Nev Campbell. So,
Oh wow.
oh yeah,
JV, do you visit her professionally or do you know her personally? I'm just kidding.
Both.
We ain't gonna answer that.
Both.
All right. All right. Anyways, kids at home, do not ask your parents about what I was just talking about. But dude, every time I think of Scream, I always think of Scary Movie. I always think of I need to watch that.
Oh wow!
That's all I was a kid when that movie came out. Like I was like, gosh, I was probably
That's
like early
okay.
teen. So
The thing about the scary movie, but the thing about the scary movies, though,
stupid
that is
spoof
just
movies. Yes,
it's such a cheap parody. Whereas Scream was actually a commentary on the tropes of
yes,
horror.
it was. I agree, but I always think of just can't not. I just can't not.
This is why we can't have nice things, folks.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Scary Movie 3 was it 3? I don't know. Whatever one they're in the mansion. That was the best one.
Two.
Yeah,
Two was the mansion.
Take my strong hand. Yeah. Love it. Anyways, but yeah, Scream. Scream is fantastic. I'm sorry. I got off topic. I like Scream. Dang it, somebody should have done that. You know what? Those would be good ones. JV has exited.
Like Scream. Another franchise I've seen all of them of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just noticed that the most recent film, even though she has a minor part in it, they put Jenna kind of front and center on their movie posters.
Yeah. Well, it's about nostalgia, man. It's about
it's because it's also star power, and right now. But I'm sorry, Spencer. Proceed, sir. Keep going.
Yeah, no, I could easily just gush kind of over all the movies respectively. But yeah, they were just something else with all that. Just I particularly love that one scene in the first one where like as I was talking the Halloween scene, right, where it's literally playing Halloween, and then that whole thing like just comes together, like the killing as is happening, and so like just things like that in the movie. It's so great.
Nice.
Agreed.
Yeah, I do think Scream is a good commentary on the slasher film. It was kind of a turning point in the horror genre. I think it was different. Now I really did like.
That's what I really liked about it too. Is like it's nothing really quite like that, right? And that's one of those things where it's like I've never cared a lot for the other slasher things, right? Like I've never seen a Friday the 13th movie because they just don't interest me. Not because I don't. Yeah, it just doesn't interest me. And so, I just really like what Scream does.
It was a good one.
Alrighty. It was. So, Steve, we are coming back to you.
All right. My second one.
I'm sorry. People are agreeing with JV. I gotta stop. I don't know. I don't have any.
Click.
Upside down right now. Love you, JV. Steve, anyways, I'm sorry.
I know.
Sorry, Steve.
That's all right. All right. My second one is 1984's Ghostbusters.
Excellent.
There you go. I just had to.
Excellent film.
Love it.
Yes.
I've got the Stay
I remember
Puft
seeing this in the theater,
and
I've just loved it ever since, and it's amazing. Better than the second one was okay.
Yeah.
But you really like a lot of these franchise movies, you really can't beat this first one. There you go.
There he is.
Stay up Marshmallow. What did you do, Ray?
Oh my gosh.
It just popped in there. What just popped in there?
I love this movie, man. This is one of my favorite 1980s films. Ghostbusters.
Perfect cast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They played off each other very, very well.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't. There's nothing quite like those guys kind of going back and forth at each other, almost like it's an SNL skit, right?
Yeah.
Because Dan and Bill were SNL alumni, and I believe Harold was at some point.
Yeah, I think he was as well. But
I don't remember that. But...
they play off each other, and of course, it's more. That chemistry is there. They just play off each other.
Mm-hmm.
Bill and Dan, of course, having that time on SNL. They know how to do that. You mean what?
The Venkman, you have no idea. I have worked in the private sector.
I have worked
They
in the
expect
private
results.
sector. Yeah. Yeah, I love it, man. And then he's sitting there. So my fave, I love the beginning of the film when he's sitting there and he's testing
Is it a star?
Oh my
It
gosh.
is a
It
star.
is a star. Yeah. Wrong again. Bzzz. Yeah.
Sorry. It's just not your day.
It's not your day. Results. They're looking for results.
It's like 3 wavy lines. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Ghostbusters, man. And dude, it's one of those films, and I think this is indicative of a lot of older films that, you come into this story, and I feel like a lot of films nowadays, you have to explain where everyone came from and why they're the way they are and blah, 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 blah. When you get into Ghostbusters, these guys have a history together. You don't know exactly what it is, and it's cool because they have a chemistry together, and you love it. And
well, yeah,
they know each other very well. You just get into it. You feel like these characters have spent a ton of time together, and they're just in it from the start
because the writer trusts the audience.
Yeah, 100%.
And this is one. And this is one. As this is far even as far as a comedic film. From prior to this was the highest grossing comedy film, which actually then set a new bar in Hollywood that comedy is a viable medium to tentpole with.
Yeah. And I think that this film, while it is a comedy, it's one of the first comedies that really has this kind of high budget kind of feel and look to it. Very cinematic. I mean, you would it plays a line. I mean, it's not just comedy. It is a comedy action movie.
Yeah.
But I think it is just as much action. I think the comedy, it's not secondary, but it's just so well done.
It is right in front. It is right in front. It
is right in
Rick
front.
Rick Moranis.
This is a horror.
Yeah.
This is a horror comedy.
Yeah. It is, but it plays so well together that it is serious enough. I mean, it is, I guess, horror-ish, but it's
Rick Moranis. And Rick Moranis.
I love Rick
Moranis. This is why I invited co-alliance and not friends. It's an entire.
I'm having this party tonight. Would you like to come by?
Okay, so you know. All right.
I love it, dude. It is a shame.
Nice doggy. Nice doggy. Oh, sweet Poochie.
Oh, it is a shame that man.
I'd like to take you back and test your brain. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a shame that man had to give up acting for so long for a good cause. I respect Rick Moranis so much. I respect that man so much. Fantastic actor.
And for anyone who says that for anyone who says that for anyone who has ever said that Sigourney the Weaver is not hot, has not watched the film. She was smoking. She was smoking.
I am Gozer.
What a lovely voice, and what a lovely singing voice you must have. There is no
Are you the gatekeeper?
Dude, I love it.
No.
Slam.
I tell you,
are you the gatekeeper? Yes, I'm a friend of his.
Yes,
I'm me to meet him here.
That every scene with Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver in this film is pure magic, man. I mean,
so does this mean we're not going out?
I love, dude, especially when he first meets her, and of course he thinks that she's just some crackpot crazy lady, and she's like, "It was in the fridge," and he goes in the fridge, and he's like,
"Oh my gosh, look at all the junk food in here! You actually eat this stuff?"
Yeah. It's great. It's fun, fantastic movie. Love. I wish I would have asked Steve to end this because that's a great movie. That's a great movie.
Spencer, thoughts?
And I've grew up watching this movie a lot. It's definitely one of my absolute favorites for sure. I mean, I don't know what more to add. Like you all already summed it up so much, right? There's so many great characters, right? Slimer is such a great,
Yeah,
icon that we get nowadays, and
he's
Little,
iconic.
little
Right.
spud, isn't he?
So much
think we can
iconic stuff
hear
with
you,
him.
Ray.
Let's not
Absolutely
forget we got a cereal and the best high C flavor of all time from that movie.
I was not alive, sadly.
And not only that, we got 2 cartoons off of this film.
Yes, we
Yeah.
did.
There was
Yeah.
Ghostbusters and the real Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And we got a sequel. The sequel's not as good as the first one.
No,
And
I don't
then
think
we
it was
got
bad
the
though.
it was okay.
and then we got the 2016 Abomination.
Yeah.
We're not
You mean
talking
And
everyone's
then they
favorite.
Let's not talk about that.
and then we got Afterlife, which completely doesn't
that was
mention
good.
that at all. And in the Steelbook, the 2016 film is a digital code. It doesn't even get a disc
Good.
Mm.
in the whole right.
Rip it up. Tear it away.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I
love
actually
that.
like
Which-
Afterlife. I like that Afterlife.
Which,
I
by
like
the
that
way,
film.
there's a cosplay group here in town, and they have a replica of Ecto 1, and I see it driving around town all the time.
That's
That
awesome.
is so cool.
That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah.
Great choice, Steve. Great choice.
Yeah. That's just a home run, no matter how you slice it.
Absolutely.
Before I get to my last film, I did ask all the chats. Only YouTube responded. I guess Facebook and Twitter are not on the train yet, but we're gonna get there. What are some of the chat's favorite films in this genre? Spooky, it could be horror, goofy, whatever. We've talked a lot. Tina has 13 Ghosts.
Good movie.
Very good movie.
Mhm. It's okay.
Werewolf by Night.
Don't
I think
know
one of
that
the few things MCU has done right on Disney
Plus, yeah, it was okay.
Yeah,
Decent.
good.
It was a good movie. I enjoyed it.
I think
It
it
was
was
okay.
pointless that they just released it in color, though. It's like that takes away what was
Yeah.
special about it in the first
Yeah,
place. But
yeah, that was
Yeah.
it was a complete homage to the old Universal horror films.
Yeah.
made it
So
work.
they-
Still never
they
saw
used-
it.
Yeah. And of course, we know Alan was in love with Salem's Lot. I think Salem's Lot's fantastic.
Mhm.
Also, Dog Soldiers.
Never saw that
Mm.
one.
He was telling Tina. I know it says Tom. He was talking to Tina. And my boy, Dragon Buddy, American Werewolf in London.
Good one.
Very good. And then Alan was fighting with him and said, no, The Howling.
Another good one. A Company of Wolves as well.
Yeah. And then JV, whoa, he's in the chat and he's live. Y'all are missing the Carpenter classic, The Thing. The Thing is good as well. I agree. And DB again with, man, my mouse is acting up. But here we go. All the Leatherface iterations.
Oh yeah.
Mm,
Yes.
mm,
Yes.
mm.
Yes.
JV 's-
Creepy rednecks. Yes. All
Yeah.
in for creepy rednecks. It was
I live
creepy.
around a lot of creepy rednecks.
Yeah.
I'm not one of them, if you're wondering.
You sure
You
about
are in Carolina.
Sure, you're not.
that?
That's what a creepy redneck would say. Oh, look, Alan just there. Boom. Anyways, so my last film is spooky, creepy. This is one that I grew up with and just loved. I love this movie, and I still love this. I think it still holds up. It's from 1995, Casper. It doesn't say not the friendly ghost.
That's
Just-
so cute.
Just Casper. It is cute. I told you guys I'm not the biggest horror guy.
Oh,
But this film
Best-
is
best part about that film is Christina Ricci.
Christina Ricci.
that is one of her big
Early.
roles. I think
Early.
it is early.
Big
I
role?
think
Big role?
Addams
No.
Family- Addams
Big role
Family-
or early? The Addams Family put her
Adam's
on the
family.
map.
put her on the
Mm.
map. But this,
Yeah.
I think this is more of her shining in her own right. Addams Family was awesome.
Wow,
as well.
Alan. Damn. That was
Dang, Alan.
Wow.
Who do you too, Alan?
Young DB crush in 95. You were 18, young DB.
She was about.
That was adult DB
so
crush.
It was about 14.
I think everyone. I think everyone had a crush on Christina Ricci.
Yeah, Christina Ricci was fantastic.
I still do.
Oh my goodness!
Have you seen her?
Yes, I have. I have seen her many times. But I think even the effects. If you've seen this movie,
it was a good movie.
It was a good movie, man. Stop, JV.
Is it though?
Calm down.
Is it
It
though?
is. I love
It was a good movie.
It was a good movie.
So
And
wholesome.
It's a wholesome movie. And
It was
he becomes,
wholesome.
Okay.
he becomes
I'll give you that.
real at the end. He
Yeah.
becomes
I'll give you
real
that.
for a little bit.
Yeah.
But I like the effects. The ghosts for that time. The ghosts look fantastic.
Yeah.
Casper and the three brothers. They look really good.
Yeah.
But yes, Christina Ricci did a fantastic job acting in this film. Oh, JV's got to leave. Oh, you know, we didn't like you anyways. I know we were talking Mel Brooks earlier, but Bill Pullman is in this movie, who is from Spaceballs fame. He is Lone Star from Spaceballs. Bill Pullman does a fantastic job in this movie. This is one of those movies that is wholesome. And it's a feel-good family movie that is still kind of spooky. But Christina Ricci and Bill Pullman's performances are very deep. They have their troubles and they come together, they meet in the middle, and I think that each character in this film acted their part very, very well.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen this movie, I don't even know where you're on my stream. It was a great movie. But yeah, who was it? Cannot think of her name. The lady who plays Kerrigan, I think, is Kathy Moriarty. Moriarty, I think.
I'm bad with actors too.
And then Eric Idle. They play like the two. Eric Idle's been in a lot. He was like a 90s and early 2000s kind of staple for like the creepy white dude.
Eric Idle, wasn't he one of the Monty Pythons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brave Sir Robin.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. But they did a fantastic job as the villains. She's got that voice that sounds like this. You know?
Yes.
She was she came and said, I want all the money. That's her whole thing. Just love the movie. I think the effects hold up. 1995. I'm a big fan.
It was a good movie.
So before we wrap up, any commentary on anything that we've talked on tonight? Any closing thoughts on spooky movies?
Closing thoughts on spooky movies.
JV.
Whether it's rated R or whether it's rated G, you know.
PG. It was PG. I don't know. It might have been G.
You gotta. It's spooky season. You gotta. You know,
there's something for everybody in spooky season. I grew up with Halloween Town on Disney Channel. I loved Halloween Town. Those were good ones too. They were wholesome.
Yes.
They were good ones too. I mean, Friday the 13th, you know, kind of that introductory horror film kind of vibe. It's a pretty big genre. I mean, if you think about it, it really does span a lot of kind of subculture, subgenres of different things. You could even talk about like Multiverse of Madness. I know JV would cringe if he was right here right now.
Yeah, don't scare him away.
I won't. It means we already have. But before we end up, it's spooky season, and we've just got off Ahsoka, so I have to just put out there.
And that was spooky too.
Witch farts.
That was spooky. Witch farts, because witches are scary and witch farts.
I really miss Rat Dog, Blake.
You miss Rat Dog?
I really miss Rat Dog.
He's here.
Right.
Cat dog. Alone in the world.
Brett! 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 Brett!
Alone in the world with a little cat dog.
There's a rat! Motherfucking rat!
Ever have to give me an excuse to play that clip?
I love that clip.
Well, before we end,
that was terrible.
Before we end tonight, I do have a very special guest I have to introduce. Master Yoda is here with the word of the week.
There is more knowledge here than anywhere else in the galaxy.
Spooky, the word of the week is. Yeah, Master Yoda, do you have any particularly scary films that you like? Yes. Star Wars Holiday Special. Yeah, that was kind of scary. I mean, coked out Carrie Fisher and very blonde Luke Skywalker. I just yes, I'm not proud of that. I was. Well, and ghosts, they scare me. Master Yoda, you're a ghost, man. You're a Force ghost. Yes, but not scary, am I? Just very wise. All right. I don't think you're taking this very seriously. You're just Star Wars. The holiday special sucks, but it's not scary in that sense. And you're a ghost. I just.
What about the whip stir lady? She was pretty scary.
Do not speak of that. Scared I am. Must go back now. Another world of the Force. All right, Master Yoda. Well, I appreciate you coming in for this. That's the first time that we've ever had Master Yoda just come on live. He's usually pre-recorded, and he's ornery, man. I can't rein him in.
Master Yoda.
And I love the fact that you mentioned a coked out because if you watch because if you look really close during Jedi at her hand, you can see her coke nail.
It's true though.
Go back and watch and view just for that. So, thank you, JV.
You're welcome.
But thank you everyone for being on this stream tonight.
My pleasure.
Cannot ask for better people to be connected with and be friends. Well, everybody else, JV, you're just all right. You were like here. Everybody else is,
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Anytime. So let's just go back around. Where can we find you guys? Kelly, where can we find you at?
I am most commonly at the Sidebar Cantina on Instagram or at Sidebar Cantina on X. And we're currently on hiatus with Stranger Things Has Happened because we just wrapped up season 3 and we kind of want to wait until we're a little closer to season 5 before we start season 4. So
gonna be a while.
It's gonna
but definitely go back and watch. If you've never seen this pod, go back and watch. You can watch all of the episodes that are already out.
Yes, do that. Me and Don Della Snooch, it's our first watch journey. We've never watched the series before.
Never watched the series.
No.
And I've watched most of their episodes. I need to catch up. I've gone through, I think, season 2 with you guys. And of course, I'd seen it all when it came out because I'm a big Stranger Things fan. But even as someone who's watched it before, watching you guys experience it the first time, you get different things. And it's definitely entertaining on a whole different level. You've got directors' commentaries on movies. And there's some people out there who like that. I've done it here and there. But this is different. This is fun. This is a lot more fun than a director's commentary.
We do have fun with it. We do.
You do. Yeah, there's no denying. There are some things that directors would never say that are said on Stranger Things. Watch for the entertainment value, baby.
There you
That's
go.
that's all. That's what it's all about. Entertainment. So Joker Voice, where can the people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twix at the little thing down there at Los_Pro_Protege. Streaming, you can catch me, like I said, Monday on Legion Talk. I am simulcasting from that. We are starting Game of Thrones season 6, episode 1. We will be going through the entire series, including season 8. God. And then through the first 10 episodes of House of the Dragon, which will lead us almost right directly into season 2 of House of the Dragon. Cannot wait for that. Thursday you can catch me on with Roman of the Empire. I simulcast from there as well. Either a film, a series. This week will just be topics in pop culture in general. And then Friday night again, also from Legion Talk, for a Friday night's Royal Rumble for a wrap up in pop culture. Right after I'm done here, I'm gonna go flush my nose and sinuses out because of this the virus I've had the last couple days.
Oh, were you just choked up by Casper?
No.
Is that what it was?
No.
I bet you was.
That's what it was. So wholesome.
Nobody here's named Jason, right? All right,
Well, Steve did vote for Jason to get killed, so I'm just saying.
It was fresh.
And then I will be having
That
my
is true.
my last week's news now coming out tomorrow morning, and then I'll have a video Wednesday and Thursday this week. So yeah, check it out. I've been like I said, I'm knocking on the door of 550 subs. Blake has got some growth the last couple times that I've stopped by. Everyone here, make sure you check out everyone. You should check out everyone's channel. When you subscribe, make sure you watch a video all the way through because that will lock in your subscription. Always ring the bell, and always ring that bell because subscriptions don't mean much because you can get purged at any time. And yes, just watch, subscribe, and let all these channels grow.
I love that. That's awesome, JV. Yeah, the goal is that we all grow, get our stuff out to different people, and to get different views, man. I enjoy interacting with people. That is the whole reason I started Dork Wars Live, is so that I can interact real time with folks like you on the show, folks in the chat. This is what it's all about. Love that kind of stuff. Spencer, where can we find you on the World Wide Web?
Go find me. That's my personal Twix account down there where I.
That's right.
I don't post too much on there, but
I love that we're adopting Twix. I love it.
I've never heard that term before, like until today. I love it. That's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, also go over to that link scrolling right down below there where my little personal YouTube channel that I started up earlier this year. Mainly right now, just trying to focus on different comic content, but also feel free to go through everything I've done previously. I did a little bit of gaming stuff on there, and I did I tried to buy a news video too. I had fun with that, and so. But yeah, I'm planning on recording a new comic club tomorrow, so keep an eye out for that. We'll be out sometime in the next week or two, depending on how busy my schedule is. But yeah.
That's how it is, depending on how busy it is.
That's the thing, personal life comes first,
Oh yeah, all the time. And finally,
you guys have those?
Well, dude, so JV rolls out his schedule, and it's like he is full time. He's full time YouTubing, and slight bartending on the side. And what's her name? He's visiting her at the strip club, or excuse me, the professional
gentleman's establishment.
The gentleman's establishment that happens to have a free
much.
buffet.
Actually, Actually, there is one of those establishments here in town that is also a 5-star steakhouse.
Oh,
Just saying. Oh yeah, a steak sandwich, and a lap dance was the best lunch
I needed
had.
an address for that one. I'll write it down.
while you're eating, though, I mean,
It depends. It all depends.
Steve!
You know, the A1 sauce comes in handy at times.
Steve, where can we find you? Save us, Steve. Save us, Steve.
Okay, yeah. So you can find me at Otter272 on the Twix and rebelrockradio.com for the live stream / podcast. And like I said earlier, that'll take you to all of the links, all the social media links, and all the audio platforms that you can find us on.
Yeah. And definitely check out all these shows. Rebel Rock Radio, always fun to listen to. Check out my boy Dingus, the Dingus Den. Check out
And don't
Things
forget his OnlyFans account. It's
His
top
OnlyFans.
notch.
The only dingus.
If you
Can't
want,
forget that.
if you want to see Dingus and his Dingus, OnlyFans is where you want to be.
Wasn't gonna go there, but glad you did.
Hey man, you led me right into it. But also check out Dork Wars, the podcast, or just dorkwarspodcast.com. There you can find everywhere we stream. Check out our socials, Facebook, Twix, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. We have an Instagram. We don't really post that very much, but whatever. But we're all those places. Check out the audio only show that we do. We actually have our audio only show. We have a new feature for our host website. The website that hosts us, rss.com, has now released a feature where we can post our episodes right to YouTube, and they make this whole little video and everything. So we are doing the highlights of Dork Wars, the podcast, right now. Every couple days, we're releasing an older episode that we feel kind of accentuates who we are and putting it back out on the YouTubes.
Don't you have something new to plug as well?
Do you have something new to plug?
A certain network?
I think it is the Subculture Podcast. Yes, we do have a new network we are a part of, one that we helped found and kind of jumpstart. Very excited about this thing, the Subculture Podcast Network. Check out all of these pods, the Portable Hole Publishing Podcast, Trekker's Delight, Entertainment Rants, and of course, Dork Wars, the podcast. Always a fun time. We're looking to grow and to try to just get our stuff out there to more people. And there are more folks on the roster. We are talking with some other folks as well. So thank you everyone for being on my stream tonight. I love you guys. Always a great time talking with you.
I know.
And remember,
definitely got to check out a show called Portable Hole. That just sounds
that sounds so wrong, but it's like,
look, that was the whole thing. I'm like, dude, everyone's gonna have questions. They're gonna come to this network like this. But very knowledgeable. I'm excited, man. It's great. I've had a lot of fun making up. I've made up a lot of the logos and the art and stuff, and that's something that I'm good at. That's what I bring to the table. So I've got to have fun and let loose with that. But of course, thank you everyone for being on the stream. Like and subscribe to all these folks, and of course, Dork Wars, the podcast as well. Keep listening. Keep on the socials. Look what's coming up. We have new things coming all of the time. So it's never a dull moment here. Check us out. Thank you, and may the force be with you.
Toodles!
Thank you for supporting Dork Wars, the podcast. You can check us out on Facebook.com/Dork Wars, the podcast. And if you would like to join in on the discussion or maybe suggest topics for us to discuss, please do so by joining our Discord community or sending us an email at dorkwarspodcast@gmail.com.